left. So as you all know, this is the certification course. If you're new here, we do this certification course all the time on this channel, and to make you a web app developer. So CSS, JavaScript, and React are done every month. Okay, so that is there. And let me share my screen. And today I'm using a different system. Okay, so but the code is like same. So this is still this we have done. So let us move forward, and what we need to do now. Yeah, so we are not going to learn about a very important thing known as a controlled component. Let me do one more thing. I will remove all these things. Okay, and because too many comments are there. Okay, one second. Am I sharing? Yeah, I'm sharing. Okay, let me also see if I am live. Yeah, welcome on. Okay, yeah, so I'm live. Okay, so till here, and today we're going to learn start with a new concept known as a controlled component, and still we're doing class based. On the last only we're going to do hooks because hooks is very small. So control component. What is control component in React.js? What happens if you want to add a form? It is not that easy to add a form. Okay, adding a form is like a bit trick is involved there. Not a trick, but like forms are not easier in HTML, CSS, JavaScript also. Here it's a bit different thing. So let us create a form now. Okay, so I will create a new, the components. I'll go and I will create a new demo form dot demo form dot js, then RCE, and last is demo form, and save it, and then here I will go and I will add this demo form like this. I'll add it, I will save it, and the demo form is shown. So let us have a form here now. So here I can add it itself as a form. Then I will have a div here, and then label HTML for. Okay, here one more thing to be noticed is that this HTML for is actually the for. In a label we have for corresponding to the ID in a input box or something. Okay, so for becomes HTML for because in React React is a JavaScript file basically. So for is a keyword, so that's why we cannot take this. So I will have a user name and user name, and input type is text, id is equal to, so it is user name, because whatever the for is there, id will be equal to that. And then value. Okay, value is equal to, for value we have to take a constructor and const, and in this constructor we are going to have a user name here like this, username, and now the value will be this dot state dot username. This dot state dot username will be the value. Okay, so let me save it. But see, this username, I don't know why it is taking something which was already there, but the main thing is there. If I come here and type here, and actually I'm not able to type anything. Okay, I'm not able to type anything because React.js, it works in a different way. See, what is happening right now, this render function, as I've told earlier, render function will run only if the this dot changes states, this dot set state changes the state, this dot set state or anything, the state is changed and the render is running. Right now the render is not running again. Even if you're typing here, there is nothing is happening. So how to solve that issue? To solve that issue, and this is how we work with forms. Okay, this is how. So we'll have on change handler. On change handler will be there, which will be equal to this dot handle user change. This dot handle user change is there. Then we'll go and uh, handle user change will give, it will take a e or event, whatever you say, and then I'll do a this dot set state is equal to username and e dot target dot value, e dot target dot value is there. Okay, so this is there. Now I will go here, and I don't know why James is coming, so I can type my name Bindu. So like this I can type it. So how this is working actually? This is working like this. See, the moment this form is loaded, because the component is been loaded, it will come here, and this dot state at this that moment is empty string, nothing is there. And the moment I type the word n, on change will fire. On change is the event handler which will keep on listening for any change in the text box. The moment I do a on change, the on change, this will fire, and will I will do write something. This on change will fire, and this will call this function. When it will call this function, it will go to this e. In this e, there is this dot set state. In this dot set state, I have this username is equal to e dot target dot value. E dot target dot value at that point will contain n. So it will become n. And now what will happen? When we change the state with this dot set state, render runs again. So render will run again. Now this dot state dot username is n, and n will be shown. So this is how it works in React. Okay, so that is there. Now we'll do one more thing here, which is like see, everything else will be like this only. So I will have a div again, and maybe I will have a br also here, break row, and I will have a let me do one thing. Let me take it this way, because my image is sometimes cutting everything. Okay, so label is there, HTML4 is comment, and then we'll have a text area. Name is something which we don't require in React, so I will remove it. And calls and this we can give, but I don't want it, because most of the time it will be done by the CSS. Okay, all these text boxes and all text boxes, as on it's like an input type text only the multiple line it can take. So this text is there. Okay, now I should do one more thing here. A comment should also be there. It should be empty string. Exactly the same thing will happen. ID is like this, and then value is this dot state dot comment. This dot state dot comment, and on change is equal to this dot handle comment change. So a different function name I have given. This dot handle comment change. Now I will come here, and we have to do the same thing. Like same thing we have to do. So I will copy this thing and handle comment change, and this will be comment is e dot target dot value. I'll save it and see the comment will come. Maybe some space should be here. Save it, and now I can write here also, and this is multi. I can write here also. So like this. So there are a lot of other things like check boxes, radio boxes, dot on, which you can check it out. Okay. So now we actually lost a lot of time on the day one. Day one have some voice problems, so I also didn't complete a lot of things. So I have to rush a bit. Okay. So and one thing I want to tell, this happens every month. Okay, this ReactJS thing. So this form we are going to come, and then this div I'll do a break row again, and now I'll have a button. So inside a form we can have a button or input of type submit. I think everybody knows this is like a basic HTML stuff. And what happens if you have a type button of type equal to submit? If you have something like this, the submit button also will like the enter also works. Okay, enter also works. So we'll have a submit will have, and then in this form I will have a on submit equal to on submit. Again we get access to on submit also. On submit will only be there in the form. It is like even if I click on this button, or even if I press the enter, it will run. Okay, so this I'll write this dot handle submit. Handle submit is not a keyword. You can write anything else also. Handle submit, I'll write, I'll save it, and anyways I will get a button here, and this handle submit I'll do. And let us just now see how to get the data, like equal to e. I'll show one thing. E is like clg. Let have a this dot state I will have, and I will have a inspect. I'll go to the console, and I will write this, and I'll press a submit. But the JavaScript problem had happened. It will go away. It will refresh this thing. So this is not a ReactJS problem. This is a JavaScript problem. So we have to do a e.prevent default to prevent the default behavior of the browser, which is to refresh whenever we press the submit. This comes from PHP days. Okay. Prevent default, e.prevent default. I'll save it, and then I'll do this is good. Submitted, and this is coming. So this is after this, generally we do API call and all those things. Okay, so this is about forms. So forms are done. So now we are going to learn about a very important concept in ReactJS class based, and soon when we are going to start hooks, we are going to learn that at that time also. And that concept is the concept of lifecycle method, which earlier was there only in the class based. Okay, so let us learn that. So I will I'll show a slide here. Okay, so let me make it a slideshow. So lifecycle method. Actually, React, what happens, the control passes from different phases. Okay, control passes from different phases, and out of this, the mounting phase and the updating phase are very important. Even the unmounting phase is important. This unmounting phase we're going to learn when we're going to learn React hooks. In React hooks, we're going to learn something known as use effect hook again. Okay, so mounting phase in the component instance of the component is created and inserted into DOM. Simple, it means whenever see in our form, we had a form earlier, so this form is there. Suppose this form has been loaded and I don't do anything with it, means the state will not change. If I don't do anything with it, the state will not change. So this is the mounting phase. When I do something with it, like writing something, then the render function runs, then the mounting the updating phase will run. Okay, so that is the updating phase. So that is the updating phase. Okay, so now there are some functions here, and there is the order in the mounting phase. Mounting phase, most of the functions we have seen, the constructor we know, and render we know, but there is something else also. Get static derived state from props. Someone is asking something. Get static derived state from props. Okay, one sec. Pull right. So I cannot repeat because I don't have much time, but I want to get a completion certificate. In one of the YouTube video description, you have given link for the completion. Given a link for the completion, I'm not able to find. So we never get give completion certificate or link anywhere in the description and all. Okay, so that if you give that, everybody will go and come and see the description and give it. So attendance links are always given in the live chat. If you don't know, attendance links are always given in the live chat. If you are new here, I'll tell you, attendance links are always given in the live chat for all of our certifications. Okay, so that will be given sometime later on, and you can see that whenever it is given. And this is a 4-day live course, so attendance links are given daily. If you not see day 1 and day 2, please go back and see the day 1 and day 2 completely. There was attendance link given sometime. I will not tell the time. You will see it and you will find it and fill it out, because the certificates will send by Sunday evening, so you can find it out. Okay, so that is there. And so this is how it is work. Constructor, get static derived from state from props, render, and component did mount. So these are the 4 lifecycle methods are there. And render, and let learn more about it. Constructor and render we know. but then also we'll learn about it. Constructor is a special function which has been called whenever a new component is been created. We know that thing. Constructor is a perfect place for initializing state and binding event handler. Initializing state with this dot state, binding event handler. Also, we have seen this thing, binding event handler. Okay, maybe don't do HTTP request from the constructor. Yeah, we should not do. Need to call a special function super props here. Okay, this is required to access to this dot props in a component. That is the reason. Super props is there. Can set state directly with this dot set only in constructor. Other places we do it with this dot set state. And we're soon going to see a program. Like, I don't generally teach like this. This is a really used lifestyle method, and I'm not going to tell much about it because I don't know why it is still there in a class based, but it should have been removed, but it is still there. Okay, so yeah, good evening. I'm not seeing people's messages here. Okay, it's okay. So that is there. Now render, this is the only required method. Even the constructor is not mandatory, we all know that. Okay, so that is there. And read props and state and returns JSX. Okay, that is there. But one of the most important method is componentDidMount. And we didn't learn till now componentDidMount. So this is a method which is called only once, like the constructor, but it is invoked after the components and its child component are rendered in the DOM. After all of the DOM is rendered, means suppose you might have gone to a website which is a bit slow, not because of it is slow, but because of might be your internet connection is slow. So slowly it will come, and all the structure will be shown, all the structure will be loaded. Okay, you might have seen something like a news website. Okay, the news website, first the structure is been loaded, then the news will come. So that happens because first the DOM is been loaded, all the DOM is been loaded, and then news and all, we get that from a API call. API call is been made, and then we get it. Generally the API call we do it in the component did mount, because we're going to see that thing. Okay, how do the API call with component did mount, but this is a very important method, and we're going to see that thing. Okay, so yeah, so now let us create some new files here. Okay, so first one will be parent life cycle.js and child lifecycle.js, parent lifecycle, and it is RCE, because this lifecycle methods are there only in class based. Okay, so and what we're seeing here, we are going to see mainly the flow right now. Okay, the flow we'll see. Then I'll come here and do a r const, and in this I will have a like name. That's the name is this only, and we'll have a lot of console logs here. Console logs, constructor, then static. So let's have all the lifestyle method. First the static get derived state, although it is not required, but we should know that how to do it. Static get derived from state from this we never use. Okay, props comma state takes, and then I'll have a CLG and parent life cycle and return null value, and then component did mount. I'll have it doesn't have any data. And one more thing, we are this let this be h1. We'll have one more parent. Okay, render will have. Okay, so let us have this parent now, and demo form I'll close, and this parent is saved. Let us have. Okay, so my console is also open. That is the main thing, and here I will have a parent life cycle like this. I will cut it and save it. Okay, so see now what will happen. The constructor is ran first. Sir, only debit card supported. Why not phone pay or Google Pay? Not getting what someone is telling. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I don't know what you people are talking. Send project with the completion certificate. Oh, we used to give completion certificate a long time back. Okay, we used to give it, but now I think we don't give it, and I don't know why. Which what link you are clicking, Deepak and Vipul? Okay, so that is there, and I think we used to give a long time back, but I will check. You can give me the, you can ping me on LinkedIn and all, and where what you are saying means we used to give. I think I don't remember right now how long means 4 5 month back. Maybe we used to give the completion certificate also. But if you've done projects, it's very good. It's a very good thing. Let's see. Okay, so connect connect on LinkedIn. Okay, connect on LinkedIn. Okay, both of you can connect on LinkedIn to me, and we'll see from there. Okay, what is the completion certificate? Okay, so that is there, and yeah. That is very long ago. We used to do that thing. Okay, time has changed. Time has changed at that time. Okay, so we used to give to, but nobody took that completion certificate, so we dropped that idea. So that is there 4 months back. Yeah. So yeah, you can connect if you're on the WhatsApp group. You can connect with us and let's see what you're talking about. Okay, so maybe the link was still there, so that is good. Okay, so that is there, but if we, okay, we'll see that thing. If you've done the done the project, I will be more than happy. I'll not even charge you. Just send me the GitHub link and we'll see it, and you'll get the completion certificate. Not an issue. Okay, so that's good. You completed the project. So this parent life cycle. Okay, so parent life cycle I've done. See the order in which it will run. So the constructor is been shown first. Okay, constructor is been running first. Then the get derived state from props. Then the render and at and component did mount. So component did mount, as I told, it's a very important thing. Component did mount. It's a very important thing, and it will run like this. Okay, so again I'll do it. So component didmount runs at the last. So what happens if I have a child also here? So let us see what happens if I have a child here. So in the child will be rce, again a class based, and let us do some copy paste here, and I will do here. So this all parent life cycle will be changed to child life cycle here. I want to show what will happen if the child is also there like this. Okay, so child we have written, child also have all these things. Okay, so now in the parent will go, in the parent I will first need to have this, because when you have two, more than two, you need to have a fragment. Okay, and then we'll have a child life cycle like this, and then save it. Now I will cut it and refresh it. So see now what will happen. The constructor has run, then get derived state from props, get derived state from props, then render, then after the render it has gone to the constructor of the child, then again the get derived state from props, then again the child render, and at the end the parent component did mount ran. It means that the parent component did mount ran at the last, and at this place only you should do the API call, always at the parent. So this is the all about the mounting phases. So now we will learn about the updating phases. Okay, updating phases we'll learn. So updating phases are totally different. Okay, static get data is from should component update render, get snapshot before update, and component data. You see one very important thing here, there is no constructor is there, and there is no component did mount is there. Okay, component did mount is there. Okay, so it means when you update something, those method doesn't run, those lifecycle method don't run. Okay, and here also I will say something like only two methods are important. Okay, so again we'll come get data set problem, it is we never do it. Should component update also we never do it, so I'll skip it. Render is, but it is still there. Okay, render is, it is what is get a snapshot update also it don't do it. Component did update is very important. It is the equivalent of component did mount in the updating. When does the updating phase happen? Updating phase happens only when the state or props are changed. How the state is changed? Just like in a form example, when we're doing the form example, when we're typing something, the state was changing. So anyhow the state is changing, the updating phase run, the mounting phase doesn't run. Okay, so let us do this new methods of the, and we're going to, when we're going to do hooks, we're going to tomorrow we're going to do hooks, and we're going to see some good examples there also. Okay, so here I will come and we'll do a should component update like this, and then g and life cycle should component update, and here it returns, it expects something, return true it will do, and then we'll have a get snapshot before update. Okay, and then it will also have a priv props comma priv state, and here I have this thing, and then return null I'll have, and then component did update I'll have, and then g so on this but this updating lifecycle phase only runs if we the state is changed, and for that only we have this state, we're going to change the state. So I'm going to come a button is there, and the button will say state change state, and then here I'll come and do on click equal to like this, then this dot set state, and I will change it, name is TWD the web, and please if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Okay, so we're doing so much. Okay, so this is done, and we'll go here, I will delete it and I will refresh it. See now the methods which are running, it has again, they're again mounting phase which you have already seen. Okay, what we are going to do, let's see it once, because we have to do something else also. These three methods should component update now, component did mount, should component update, will paste it here, control F, refresh it, save it. Now again the, okay, these are the mounting phase. Now let us see the updating phase. See, updating phase are done. See, in the updating phase there is no constructor, there is no component did update. See, it runs like this, should component, then the render will come, then it will go here, then it will go back to render, and at the end the component did update run, and the parent also component did run at the end. And we're going to see a very practical example when we're going to do hooks. So this is the life cycle methods. Okay, so that is there. Now going to go to the next topic, and the next topic is known as the refs. So what are refs? Sometimes what happens, we need to get access to the DOM directly. We need to get access to the DOM. Earlier this thing used to happen a lot, because when React uses something known as a virtual DOM. So the type of coding which you do, like this dot state and all, they are like virtual DOM. But what is DOM kind of a thing? Okay, so like there was a jQuery which used to directly access DOM. So that is like, sometimes directly accessing DOM have some benefits also. So we are going to do one thing. So this demo form is there. We are going to change this to a different way, which is like a refs way. Okay, some people like this way, but React team says, Facebook team says that you should not use refs until it is required. Sometimes it is required, because what we need to do in refs are required. Some of the things are there which are not there in React, so for that we require refs. React team say only use refs in that case, but sometimes I've seen people using refs like that only. You'll see this code will become so easy if we use refs. Okay, so now I will use this, and refs are same in your hooks also. Okay, refs demo.js, refs demo.js I'll do, and then rce. Okay, then welcome. So now first thing is that we are going to have the same form. So let me copy this form. It's better to copy this form. Copy this form, but there is no concept of state and all here. So what happens, again in the r const I'll go, and here there is no concept of state. Then the concept is what? This is the concept of refs, by which we can get a very deep access to this thing. And we'll call our ref like what we will call our ref. This is okay. We'll call it user ref, and the other one is comment ref. So this dot user ref, again we will give it like this, and this dot user ref is not a keyword. We can use anything. Okay, equal to react dot create ref. So that is a function, react dot create ref. We have to use this, and we have to use another ref also, and that will call this dot comment ref equal to react dot create ref. So we are going to use both of these things. Now how to reference these things right now, like value and all. So how to do that thing? Okay, so for that we don't need the value, we don't even need to on change. So that's the plus point. I'll remove actually this code. This code was very complicated also, like circular loop was there. Okay, if you remember, so that is there. And then this I will directly write ref equal to this dot user ref, and then ref equal to this dot comment ref. Only this much I'll do. Okay, so we go here and see, I can directly type it here, means it is working. So how easy it is in comparison to demo form. Okay, so that is there, but how do we get the data here? Okay, so for that let me also come back and paste it here and submit. And this is not this dot state, but what is this then? Okay, so this is this dot user ref dot current dot value. Dot current is very important, like this. It is like this. Okay, so and the other one is comment ref dot current dot value. I'll save it, I will inspect it, console, and this is it is coming. So how easy it has become in comparison to that. So that is there. But refs, as I've told, the React team says, okay, you have to use it in a different way. There is a thing like when this is opened, I have to go here and click here. So if the click directly happens, then what? So there is something in the DOM which is known as focus, which is in the DOM, not in React, and we can use it. So when I'm going to use it, so I'm going to use it in the component did mount. Component did mount, because component did mount loads after the everything is mounted. Here I'll go and do a this dot user ref, because I want the cursor to be at the user ref. User ref dot current dot focus. Current dot focus. I will save it. I mean, I have to refresh it once. Okay, but see, by default the cursor is blinking there, means the focus will be on the user ref. Then I can type it anything, like anything I can type. And okay, so like this is good. Okay, god, it happened. Okay, so that is like the refs. Okay, so now we are going to look into another thing, which is known as context. Context is a very important topic in React, because in React passing data around is like a bit difficult. And there is another, like if you want to pass data like this, like there is a app component is there, and from the app component I have to pass it to component C. I only wanted to pass it to component C. Component A and B I don't want to pass. Then also, because if I pass it through props, like props, I have to pass from app component to A to B to C. And if there are 50 component inside it, in this thing, I have to pass through 50 component. This thing is known as prop drilling, a very big problem in React. Okay, so how do we solve it? We solve it by context API, and it is nowadays very very popular. This context API, in that what happens, you can pass data from any component. Generally we pass from the top component to any component. Okay, so you don't have to pass in between that. So let us do that thing. So for context API, go back here, and here come back to this components. In this components I will have a child.js, and it will be RCE. Okay, so like this, child parent.js RCE. So this will call the parent. Oh, what parent will call the parent? This will call the child. This will call the child component. So parent will call the child component. Okay, so that is like this. Then okay, so we have this grandparent, and this grandparent will call the parent component. So we are having something like that. Okay, I close that. Like that we are going to have. Okay, so then we are going to have this in the this grandparent we are going to have in this app. So grandparent we are going to have in the app. Cut it and save it. So from app, it is going to grandparent. From grandparent, it is going to parent, and the parent and the child is mentioned. So suppose I want to pass some data from app to child. So I can pass it through props, but I only want to pass it to child. I don't want to pass it through grandparent and parent. directly to child, so I cannot do it with props. So we are using the concept of context API here. So context API, and we're going to revisit this in hooks tomorrow, and I can do it in the app.js, but I will create a different file here. So I'll come here and do a user context.js, and user context I have written, and IMR, and then const user context equal to react dot create context. React dot create context is the thing. So context have a concept of provider and consumer. Provider and consumer, the concept is there. So I will go and do a const user provider equal to user context dot provider, and then const user consumer. So this can be anything. Okay. Consumer equal to user context dot consumer, then export user provider comma user consumer. I will save it. Okay, so now we can use it. This is not a React kind of file, this is a different file. So we will go to this app.js, and here I will do a user provider. User provider is now imported from the user context, and I have to wrap the main component here, which is like the grandparent. So like this, which is the grandparent, and then I will have a value equal to Navendu. So I'm passing away. Okay, so this is like props I'm passing, but this value is Navendu. This value is a keyword. Okay, there when we were passing the props, that was not a keyword, but this value is a keyword. So value is a keyword, and this is any string we are passing. So that is there. Now I can use it directly in the child. So how I use it? So I pass it to the provider, and whenever I want to consume, I consume it with the consumer. So that is how the context API works. With from any component I can do it. Okay. So no hierarchy is required, and nothing passing is there. So how we are going to do here? So here there are two ways to do it. One is the old way of render process. It's a bit complicated way, and one is another new way. Okay, and hooks also there is another way. So we are going to see that. Okay. So first thing is that user consumer, I have to comment out. Okay, so this I will actually remove this, or later I'll have user consumer. But the thing is that it is not that easy as a provider. You have to use something known as a render process pattern, in which you will have a curly bracket. Then I will have a user. User is not a keyword, you can use anything. Then I have a return. Finally, I will have a return, return, and here I can have this h1 child component and the user. So like this, all this curly bracket things comes, and trust me, if you have more thing, it will get complicated even sooner. Even like we're going to see this again in hooks. So now the Nabendu, we can pass it like this, but you have to pass it like this. Okay, so render process pattern. Now there is another easier way to do this thing, and but for that thing we have to export the whole thing, like export user context. User export, not like this, export. I'll do export default user context. I'll do save it. Now I can do it, show it in the child, but I will show it in the parent. So then also we are over, we're not sending it to grandparent, we can do it anywhere. But this way is also a bit too many keywords. I don't like this way. The hooks way is actually very good. There is a use context hook, which is very cool to use. Okay, so we'll have a static context type equal to user context type is equal to user context. Then go here and and welcomes this dot context. This dot context. Okay. Lot of keywords, as I was telling, context type is a keyword, static is a keyword, user context is importing. This dot context is something which is like it will get the value. So this is how it works. Context API. Now we are going to come to the last topic, which is the like the API call, which is the most important topic of class base. Also in hooks, also we're going to have it. But before that, let me give today's attendance. Attendance. Let me give it in LinkedIn also if someone is watching from LinkedIn, because my chat doesn't goes on LinkedIn. Day 3. So I'm giving it on LinkedIn also. Day 3 attendance, place market. Okay, so let's move forward and let's do the last topic of the day, which is the most important topic of the day, which is how to do API call. As a front-end engineer, you have to do API call. That will be your main task as a front-end engineer. The back-end engineer will give you API call, API endpoint, not API call, API endpoint. They will give you just like a like this JSON placeholder, like this API endpoint they will give, and you hit this API endpoint, and this API endpoints get data from the database, and the whole of the internet comes runs like this only. Amazon and everything you pick it up, it will run like this only. Okay, API endpoint it will get and it will run. Okay, so our front-end engineer main work is to do this. So let us do this thing, and we have seen this earlier also. There are two ways to do API call. One is through fetch API, which we have seen in the JavaScript class. Another way is through Axios thing we are going to see when we're going to do hooks tomorrow. Okay, so and in fetch API also there are two ways. One is through then and catch block, and one is through async await. Again, this is something which was taught in JavaScript class. So let us now do it. So here we have a list post earlier which we have created, and this list post goes to this post item, because this list post again. But in list post, what we do, we did some hard code of this thing, hard coded of this thing only, and we did because and when we then we loop through it, when and then we have send it to the post item, and post item was showing the individual item. At this point, we didn't know how to do the API call, but now we learn how to do the API call. So let us do this. So I will have a new file known as a post list dot js and rc. Comment this out because I'll keep this code. Then I will have this post list, and this post list is now having nothing, so it is been shown. Okay, so now how to do the API call, and I want to do the API call and get the data here. So first thing is that I will need to have a const here, and we will have a post array, which will be like, because we are getting an array of objects, so it will be like this. Okay, array of empty array, and this we have to fill it with the API call. So always do the API call like this, and as I have told, we do the fetch API. Fetch API, async of it, it looks very good, so I will show the async of it on. Okay, so componentDidMount. This is a practical example. Always the API call in React needed to be done from componentDidMount, because componentDidMount runs when the DOM is been loaded. As I told earlier, if you go to a news website, first the structure needed to be loaded, then the API call needed to be done, and then it loads. So every website on the planet works like that only. Amazon also works like that. Although Amazon is very fast, but actually the whole structure gets loaded. If you go to amazon.com, amazon.in, anywhere from a very slow place, like your internet is not that fast, or if you do it visit in a 2G network, then first the outline will be loaded. So that works like that. Okay, so that is there. Now here, what I am going to do, const url equal to this url and const fetch. So this is how the fetch API works. It requires 2 times the thing. Okay, so await fetch URL. But when we use the await, see, it is giving me error. Then we have to make something async. So what we are going to make async? We are going to make this component didMount async. Yes, we can make it async. So sync, I'll do it, and then const post equal to await rest.json. Okay, so we do it like this, rest.json. Okay, so now clg post, I'm going to do like this. I will save it and let's see if I get the data. And yes, we got the data. If I refresh it, see, we got back the data. So this we have seen in JavaScript code also. This 3 lines of code we have seen in JavaScript. But now when we got the data, we just have to update this post. So how do I update this post? I update this post with this dot set state posts is post. If you see the color closely, this post is actually this post and this post is this local post. Okay, so that, like this it is there. But when you have something like this in JavaScript, there is a shortcut ES6. We can remove one of them. So I'll remove one of them. I love shortcuts. So now when I get the data, where to show it? I will just like in this list post, I was passing through the post item. I'll pass through the post item. So come here and pass here. Why I'm getting the error? Because I have. Okay, so I'll pass it here, but I will get an error because post item and post are not. Actually, this is post item I have to import, and this post, there is nothing like this dot post. Either I have to do it's this dot state dot post, okay, or I can do a shortcut also, which is like a object destructuring, which is like post equal to this dot state. This I'll save it and see all of my 100 posts are coming in a nice way, because these are coming in a nice color way because of the post item. So all these are coming like this, and this is how actually internet also works. Like front backend engineers do the main logic and give us all these things, and then the front end engineer shows this thing in a nice way. So this is how it all works. And attendance link I have just given, please find it. Attendance link is there. Just when you have mentioned the attendance link is of that only. So that is there, and I've given the attendance link. Please fill the attendance link. Okay, and we are done with this class base. So hook base is remaining. As I told earlier, also hook base is very small. So we're going to complete it tomorrow, the hook base. And please fill the attendance form, and please do like and subscribe if you've not done it yet. And we'll meet tomorrow for hook based. Okay, last day for hook based. Okay, so thank you.